Twitch. Coming right at you is going to be Game 2 of PAW versus Paw Patrol, and we have another new addition to the caster desk here. Maye is going to be color casting this game. Welcome, Maye.
Hello guys, casting game 2, hopefully it's a little less sleepy than my casting game 1. Should be a bit more upbeat.
Yeah, quite literally, this man was sleeping while we were gaming, like true gamers.
Jet lag is not a time. But we're excited to see this game 2 though. KB with a pretty decisive victory over Paul in the game 1. We'll see what picks they try to switch up in order to, or Paul tries to switch up in order to make something different happen.
Yeah, and some of the picks I'm going to be looking at targeting in this next draft. Paw Patrol now with blue side means that they can force the Morgana pick first, and that's probably going to be pretty crucial for them, as that gets Violet so she gets some opportunity to make plays. And another thing worth mentioning as well is looking at New Capiturk's Elise, because that had so much impact game 1.
Yeah, for sure. We got the same bands coming out so far on both sides. Yeah, as you said with Morgana, they're probably not going to switch up bands too much, because since they can just first pick that Morg, which was pretty huge for KB game 1, and yeah, looks like we're going to have the same bands.
Yeah, band's moving pretty swiftly here for Paw Patrol. I think they know exactly what they want, and the band going to get a little more complicated on the side of Click and Bob because you have that Morgana pick to contest with, but opting for the Ari pretty quickly and just giving the Morgana over to Paw Patrol. We'll see what they have planned for it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for Trees Me Mommy because laning against Morgana is never really fun, so you kind of just sit in lane and let Morgana push out the waves.
Yeah, so Morgana just presses W and you just get to sit there and be like, man, why did I sign up for this? I signed up for a fun and interactive mid-lane gaming experience, and this is what I get, is some piece of garbage just walking into my mid-lane, clicking W, and then just falling asleep at the keyboard.
Yeah, KB picking up the Nautilus again, not a surprise. He's the best support probably in the game right now, so he was very successful with Gerg 7 last game, so I see no reason for them to switch it up.
Yeah, I as well see no reason for them to switch it up. And speaking of which, I am going to get back to you guys the results of the MVP vote from Game 1. Currently, Kawigi is up one vote over New Capiturk in standard Caligma Bobway meme fashion. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, chat.
Performance is probably the strongest 047 performance I've seen before, so...
Yeah, you could make a case for Kawigi.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're actually doing a series MVP, but we'll just have the game 1 MVP out, just for giggles, man. So we'll actually vote on the series MVP after the series is over, and that'll be our real MVP vote, I guess. So my bad, chat. Completely forgot about that one. This will be a you don't even worry about the link. The first MVP's for fluff, but just keep that in mind going forward.
Paul picking up the Amumu though, which is a big change from the Driven in Game 1. He's a bit easier to pull off than the J4, I would say. It just has a easy click and you have a huge impact on the team fight, so hopefully that'll help them out in this game.
And the Zayath picked up on the side of Caligma Bobway here is probably one of the best answers that Juice Miwami could have into this Morgana pick. Zayath gets the range advantage in that mid lane and has sufficient wave clear to ensure that Morgana doesn't just run him down.
KB opting for the Tristana ban this time instead of the, well, I guess Alistar was already picked, so they had to change that ban, but...
You sure you're not playing this game, Maye? See the Kindred ban being dropped here.
I know.
Beginning to wonder.
It's weird. I mean, I haven't seen Tyler play Kindred all that much, but yeah, double jungle ban coming out and triple overall with the Elise, trying to reduce Tyler's impact early game, which is pretty important win condition for Paul.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all to see the jungle priority coming out here, especially with the Nautilus over Zayath. They've already banned away the Kled, and now the pressure is on because
Olaf.
They would have to, they'd have to blind pick Kawigi the matchup, and yeah, this Olaf is something that we're seeing emerge more in the PMA LCS.
They're taking a comp straight out of that CNC&D playbook from Season 4. Olaf Sivir gonna be running it down. It's gonna be a time.
This is what I'm talking about. You see, Maya, you and I, the true pioneers of Olaf jungle. I see the rest of the league is finally coming around.
Indeed. Just such a good pick, especially against, Morgana Alistar, who can just lock down a jungler for about 5 seconds. Olaf will just press R and just carry on with his day and run right through it.
Yeah, emphasis on the word carry there, at least one would hope. Olaf having a super strong early game presence, and I feel like it's gonna be like up to this Amumu to just ensure like Olaf doesn't just run him down throughout the entire early game and put pressure on its jungle.
Yeah, the best thing Amumu can do is just try to outpath the Olaf, stay on the opposite side of the map of him, because he does not want to fight that Olaf early. He's got very few tools to be able to duel the Olaf, so...
Yeah, playing against an Olaf early game, especially with losing lanes, is never a fun time. So taking a look at the lane matchups here, probably going to be the blind pick Jax for StarCraft so far, actually, and Kaliki getting the Urgot. Yeah, Kaliki getting the Urgot into that. It's the Counter Strike. I think the Counter Strike stops the shotgun knee damage, so that's pretty nice. You see the disdain forward just react with the Counter Strike. So I feel like StarCraft has a lot of opportunities to, make sure he doesn't die in that lane. And in addition, like, part of Olaf's thing is he just runs at you and axes you a whole bunch. So, StarCraft's Counter-Strike actually gonna make that lane relatively easy to not just hard feed in. And looking mid lane though, the Morgana has the Black Shield to stop the slow from Olaf Undertow, meaning ganking that lane is gonna be really hard unless VioletSideSuCat like hard pushes it. And your bot as well. The Nautilus Sivir, that's what gets scary for me, is especially for the Kaisa. Level 2, like anywhere between levels 2 and 5, pre-6, that's prime ganking territory for Olaf.
Yeah, for sure. They don't really have much to respond. You got a Alistar headbutt to knock one champion away, but you can only knock one away. So it's going to be pretty hard if a gank happens bot lane early for PAW to do anything about it.
Olaf actually having a lot more jungle clear options with the addition of the Scuttlecrab patch, which, in my opinion, also increases the viability of Olaf drastically because he has no hard CC abilities for the Scuttlecrab, and you can take Machete and honestly just hard clear his entire jungle throughout the early game and can get like a 5 camp. He can clear pretty much almost all 6 camps with the Hunter's Machete and only be, maybe 10 seconds late to Scuttlecrab, so...
Yeah, for sure. He can do basically whatever he wants early game with that. His clear is just very, very strong.
It's also the new flavor of the month route, buff Krugs into a gank, which can also be pretty viable, especially if you catch any laners pushing out or exerting any early pressure forward on the side of Paw Patrol. So, I'm really interested to see how New Capaturk takes this early game pathing.
Yeah, I mean, it's very... The only thing about ganking with Olaf is if you miss your axe, that's basically the gank's over, so...
yeah, accurate.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing about ganking with Olaf is... you just kind of, it's like you said, you just kind of do nothing if you miss the axe. On top of that,
he can only run at you, that's it. If he doesn't get the slow, then you just kind of walk away, and then that's it.
Yeah. I feel like
definitely have to coordinate it.
It's much more about the pressure of the Olaf pick because nobody can duel the Olaf, and Olaf has pretty clean dragon, a pretty clean dragon solo starting at level 5. So
yeah, I mean even earlier sometimes if you got pot in jungle, you're just a couple pots in your jungle item, you can slap down that dragon pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm usually not one for risky dragon calls myself like that, so I found that level 5 is like the sweet spot with Olaf to where I feel good about it. But yeah, definitely if Kog'Maw Bobway finds the map pressure, you can see Olaf dropping the dragon down level 4. See some weird like 5-minute, 6-minute dragons coming out of the Olaf pretty easily.
Yeah, they kind of had that last game with KB where they managed to get 6 dragons in the game, so you might see Tyler looking to do that.
Yeah, New Capaturk no stranger to early dragon solos. And, I mean, that early dragon solo is pretty much like one of the primary ways that Olaf is looking to put hard pressure on the map in the early game.
Mm-hmm. Again.
And Bark199 is actually back, having been subbed in for Borgfius this game.
It makes a lot more sense with the Amumu. Bark199 really loves playing that Amumu, so that's a pretty standard pick for him.
Yeah, so I'm actually once again excited to see how both these comps play out. I think we have a reasonably even draft coming from both sides once again.
And again, it's just KB's gonna have the early game pressure with these lanes in the jungle, and I just think that's where KB really shines, is they get an advantage early, and then they just hold that advantage incredibly well. So I think it's gonna be hard for PAW to once again make the outcome difference from game one with their comp.
The one change-up I like for Paw Patrol this game is having StarCraft split push on this Jax is now a very reasonable win condition, and especially first game, it was StarCraft who was finding a whole lot of the opportunities on that Urgot pick, and now this game, the amount of pressure that StarCraft can have by just, you know, I am late game Jax, I'm going to pick a lane that's not mid lane, and I'm going to run it down, and you're going to be forced to send at least 2 people to stop me once I start breaking down towers.
Yeah, especially if he gets ahead in this lane, the Urgot really can't do all that much. He'll just probably just keep getting slapped by the Jack, so they'll have to just throw more attention at him.
Yeah, and Urgot traditionally known as one of those champions that scales massively into the late game because of the way the shotgun knees internal cooldown works. Basically, by the time you're done kiting around someone fully in the late game, he already has his shotgun knees back off of cooldown already, and you're sitting on Death Stance, Frozen, Mallet, and Black Cleaver. There's pretty much no way you're running from that, and your armor is shredded. But you know, this Jax pick, though, with the counter-strike that lets him block the shotgun knees, especially late game, he's sitting on 40% CDR with the Trinity and the Spear, and he's also got additional tanking items. There's pretty much no way the Urgot's going to be able to fight that.
Yeah, unless for somehow, some way, if he gets ahead early with Olaf doing some ganks and potentially, but even then the counter strike is just so potent against him.
Caligma taking a bit of a page out of the PAW playbook from last game because now they have the Sivir. Now they have the Sivir comp.
Oh,
they have the go button. The Kaisa pick, also something that super familiar with seeing from OP.
It's gonna be very hard to stop KB once they're ahead, especially with Olaf Sivir running at you, and they've got a lot of tools to follow up with the Nautilus and Zerath from range. So they do have Morgana to disengage some of that, but even then, it's gonna be very difficult.
Yeah, I'm honestly very scared for the side of Paw Patrol going forward into this late game if StarCraft starts having issues, because the only AD carry they have is Kaisa, and they have the Morgana for Peel, but they have no heals, they have no shields. You know, you look at how much pressure this comp from Caligma has on being able to run down that Kaisa and hit her with hard CC late game. All of a sudden, I'm feeling like I need probably some more Peel if I want to see this Kaisa start to work. I need some heals. I need perhaps a Lulu. I need an Enchanter support, or an Ivern jungle. I just need something to ensure that this massive run 'em down comp doesn't kill pretty much their only team fight win condition besides Jack's flank.
Yeah, but again though, it's Kaisa's really going to be struggling to keep away from this Olaf with. She does have the mobility of that R in a team fight, so that's about the best bet she's got. You don't outrun that Olaf. You just try to use a big gap closer to jump to the opposite side of the fight as him. So I think the Kaisa definitely has the mobility to deal with this Olaf, but it's just executing it.
Yeah, dude, it's I feel like I'm watching Dodgeball True Underdog story again. Dude, just gotta dodge, dip,
yes.
dive, and dodge. Just pray to God you don't get hit. It's about the only option you have at that point.
Still no dog champions, please report. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. You have the team name of Paw, you gotta pick some sort of dog.
Yeah, it says Paw Patrol, but I see no Nasus pick this game.
I see no Nasus pick, yeah.
Gotta be a question mark for me, dog. What other dog champions do we have in this game? Dog. I just realized what I did. Let me check here.
I don't even know. You got that one Fizz skin, which is pretty great.
Oh yeah, you got Fuzz Fizz. If you count the dog skin lines, you have Corky, you have Buzz Fizz.
Yes. Yeah, I'm surprised Ali hasn't pulled out the Corki either game.
Especially with that massively adorable Corgi skin.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
You can lower your teammates with that dance, as we see in what's that famous pro player that did it? Corgi butt shaking. It's like
which brings me to another point. I've played more than enough games with Gurg7 recently to know his love for Yumi, but so I wonder if part of the reason we're not seeing any Yumi comps coming out from the side of Collectible PAW here is because they're playing against the dog team, and so picking a cat into a dog sounds very much like
yeah, that's
very
an
much
accident
like countering
waiting for it
yourself.
to happen,
Yeah,
for sure.
an accident. Oh, I hate myself.
Yeah, so Olaf is taking the Conqueror instead of the Predator, which I
Big
prefer
respect.
as well. Yeah,
Big respect, dude.
it's a lot more. I mean, the Predator's fun because you get to go even faster, but the dueling potential of Conqueror is just undeniable.
Yeah, and speaking of Conqueror, it seems like both these teams actually know her reasonably well because we have 3 Conquerors in the game right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. KB does have 2 Conquerors, while Paul only has 1, so I think that's a pretty clear-cut victory for them here in Game 2.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that one. Conqueror is still busted mastery. Don't listen to anything anyone says. Complete stupid mastery.
Alright, let me get up to 10 seconds.
If my game will go!
Yeah, I'm still at 0. It's not loaded yet.
Big oof. So, before this pause happened, I gotta ask Maya, what's your favorite pizza toppings?
Pizza topping? Well,
Yeah.
the clear cut at number 1 is definitely pineapple.
Oh, I knew it! You're a fellow pineapple man! Let's go!
No better topping.
Alright.
Alright.
Yeah, we're good.
We are all synced up. Alright.
Perfect. And for my move, I gotta agree, dog. It's gotta be as much meat as you can humanly pile on this godforsaken slice of pizza, and then pineapple. That's the move.
Yeah. But just the meat itself, like all of them are pretty. They're on a similar level there, but you know the pineapple is just.
Pineapple elevates it.
Perfectly.
I knew you were a fellow man of culture, Maya.
Mm-hmm. For
sure.
sure.
You get dual 5-man squads coming out in the early game.
Quite interesting. They're on opposite sides of the map. They're not going to find each other at all. Just going to be walking around for the first minute of the game.
Playing Ring Around the Rosie over here. It's like someone's put in a laser pointer over here, and Paw Patrol doing their best impersonation of a cat, which is a little weird because they're dog team.
Yeah. So both teams getting a ward on blue buff, so that'll be good for tracking the path of junglers. Looks like New Kappa Turk might be sticking around to do this blue buff.
That's a little spice I'm interested in seeing.
Likely going to find them doing this. Yeah, he just spotted them doing this, so he can't really do much at this point, I don't think. So they're just gonna give it over. But KB has vision control on their blue buff as well, so I don't know. They think Barkley99 is going to get that blue buff back.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough time for the Samumu, and at this point, I feel like the Paw Patrol lanes really, especially the mid and bot side, have to do everything they humanly can right now to ensure that Barkley99 could have actually gone in to get that buff, but New Kappa Turk actually backing after completing that buff is headed to his own blue buff right away.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't really think he needed to do that because when you have your buff on the bot side, it's very unlikely for the jungler to invade that, as they have, you know, especially with the lane that's Sivir Nautilus, because they have priority on it. And now, yeah, Barkley99 reading this perfectly and going to Olaf's topside jungle, so he's going to be able to pick up a few camps here away from New Kappa Turk.
I can't tell if that was the most brain-off thing I've seen ever, or like completely and utterly hard read. But like the fact that Barkman 99 is headed up there already means it had to be either one of those two options. But you know that ward that Paw Patrol also got on the blue buff, gonna see.
Yeah, realizing that he was backing,
yeah,
and that was read that he was going to go to that blue buff. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's a ward on the blue buff, so.
Yeah, so they knew.
Yeah,
he
that
was
lets them
down
know.
there.
They knew he's back, and I think Paw Patrol also got another deep ward on. Like Mavawe's blue buff, so then Barkman 99 could actually successfully confirm. And Barkman 99 comes in, Bandage Toss lands, and StarCraft going in there, dogpiling Kaligi right now, giving him the old Zerg Rush strat. First blood goes over to StarCraft. Barkman 99 here on the 6-pool gank. You know how it goes.
Excellent gank from him there. He just went right from the red buff straight to top side, saying that Kaligi was pushing in there, and got the first blood for StarCraft, which is huge for that lane. Because once Jax is ahead, there's not much that Urgot can do. And
StarCraft already with the gold advantage in this lane. That's going to be a crucial win condition for Paw Patrol going into this late game.
Yeah. We see a very interactive matchup mid lane with Morgana Zerath. Such a fun time.
Yeah, well, good old wave clear wars. I feel like I've seen that in the LCS somewhere.
Oh yeah.
The good old
again.
Of Mastery Flash.
He's got vision in the river, but he's still pretty far pushed up. So I'd like to see Barkman 99 put some pressure on this, especially with Urgot coming into the river here. But
Jesus, just me mommy's out of mana already. This looks awful to play against.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. Both mid laners have teleport. This is such a beta lane, man. Oh my god.
Like he's gonna get ganked mid here, or Alia's.
Yeah, yep. New Capitur coming in from the side on this O-off pick, throwing the axe.
Oh,
Gonna get bound down though, the mana's still up. Yep. OP brought extremely low from Gerg7's hook in the bottom lane as well.
And New Capitur threw the undertow a bit too far, so he didn't get to pick that back up to throw the axe back at Violet Sociocat.
Yeah, when you're ganking from behind like that, you kind of got to throw the undertow directly on their hitbox. And I feel like I've seen this before in a previous week of PAW LCS. New Capitur going for the invade into this jungle, but it's spotted by Barkman 99 and Silent Sociocat, hopping the ghost, dodging the binding. Where is that Bandage Toss going? New Capitur, he's blazing saddles. He's popping those blazing saddles. This man is running out of there so fast.
New Capitur executing that Tokyo Drift too. It was incredible. Just weaving out and just managed to run right on out of there.
I feel like I'm watching Scion, but with actual drift control.
Oh yeah.
There's like My Little Pony Speed Demon Edition.
Very good by New Capitur there. He just had to dodge 2 of skill shots, and he dodged both the Morgana Binding and the Amumu Bandage Toss, giving him his life.
One thing to note is off of that weird interaction throughout the jungle pathing in the early game, Barkman 99 actually finds himself up in CS on New Capitur currently, and also up a level.
And here's the Jax bullying the Urgot once again.
Jax just giving him the old thrash, and Kaliki going in for the trade.
Base tanking Urgot, not caring at all.
That's pretty fun. And Barkman 99 and New Capitur here on this dragon. Barkman 99 taking Cloud Drake aggro, popping the smite, flashing the wall. Kaliki Mbawe is here to answer, but Beowulf in from the side, getting the knock up on Bear Jr. New Capitur drop extremely low. Beowulf getting the kill with the ignite, and Juicy Mommy forced to flash over the wall right now. The snipe comes in from Opie with the Void Seeker, and Paw Patrol is now up 3 kills, and they're looking to get themselves a Cloud Drake.
Yeah, they're just out macroing KV here. I feel they had the backup there immediately to contest that dragon, so then they were able to pick up a couple kills there because of KV's misstep, and they pick up the early dragon. This is huge for them.
I feel like every time I analyze a match in PAW LCS, an entire series, it's always a case of, oh my god, I spoke too soon. Because it's exactly what it's looking like here. Game 1, Koik Mbawe, outstanding, impressive, dominant. The macro was so clean, it was safe, it was effective, it's beautiful. And now this game, we're back to some of the stuff we've been seeing over the course of some of, the very few 1-1s that Koik Mbawe suffered through the split, where people were just kind of running around randomly in the jungle, and sometimes the individual skill level is enough for them to get out without being punished, like as we see with the new Kappa Turk Tokyo Drift, and then sometimes, well, they just die and they give up dragons.
Yeah, and it was really all due to Barklin 99 with that really good pathing early game, getting ahead on this Olaf, and just always knowing where new Kappa Turk is. He instantly knew that the new Kappa Turk was there and was able to pull his team together to collapse on that dragon.
Yep, Paw Patrol had the word pressure, and he saw it. He executed. He gave him the big brain 200 IQ play. He brought out the protractor and calculated the angle down to the precise degree.
Oh, this is
a
bit risky here. He's going for the red buff.
StarCraft giving him a good old thrash on the Kaliki on the top side as the Fear Beyond Death is popped. StarCraft going to back out of this one. Barkman 99 caught up in the top side, though. Going to pop that blast cone and get out just fine. New Kappa Turk has secured his red buff.
Yeah, it was a good read by new Kappa Turk there, knowing that Barkman 99 would be there on his red buff, so they were able to respond to that pretty well.
And Violet Sociocat finding some action in that top side jungle, just messing with him on the way to the lane. Group 7 comes out with the dredge line onto Opie in the bottom lane, and he's now brought extremely low. Wolf headbutts Bear Jr. back, and Khalid Wobbly getting the better end of that trade. Group 7 popping the depth charge, and the hook comes out. Beowulf dropped extremely low. The kill goes over. Bear Jr.
Opie
runs under turret and donates a kill to Opie.
Oh my gosh, that was very questionable there. Very greedy by Bear Jr. to get that kill. I'm trying to get that kill into OP.
You know, I always called him a 32-degree bot laner because he always throws his wave, but now he's looking like a 32-degree mid laner because he's cold and dead in the morgue after that interesting decision. But you know how that goes. StarCraft seeing new Kappa Turk in the top lane, immediately get a flash out of that one.
Yeah, he is not messing with that Olaf. Very good call by him.
Yeah, seriously, no flame, dude. It's all good fun. Good effort. We'll get him next time.
You see, Ali up 20 about 20 CS here in the mid lane with that Morgana. Pretty much, you know, the endless wave pushing's working out pretty well for her. And then we got the OP is down 20 CS in the more like 15 in the bot lane with that huge pressure from Bear Jr. and Gurg 7. So that's kind of expected.
Yep, and Sociocat just dropping pool after pool on these waves. Looks like TSP Mommy's having a fun and exciting game of League of Legends over here. And yeah, this is looking a lot like the Game 1 matchup with Violet Sociocat just being ahead on pressure in general.
And so it's kind of slowed down a bit here. We haven't seen any big missteps by either team, so we just want to. Paul just needs to keep on playing this out macroing KB, and they should be looking for a Game 2 victory here.
And one thing I want to see from a concerted improvement standpoint for Paw Patrol this game is going to be more focused on getting some pink wards and warding up the map, and just getting better vision control, because last game they had huge issues with vision. You know, new Kappa Turk was pretty much double Borgfius's vision score, and Gurg 7 was also double Beowulf's vision score. And so Paw Patrol this game, they're in the driver's seat because of some of the way this early game is played out. And part of it was Paw Patrol getting the wards in the right places where they counted to allow Barkman 99 to make that good decision. So that's already better than game 1. Now I want to see if the pressure they've got out of that, they can use it to transition that into a much more effective vision game overall.
Barkman 99 missing the flash bandage toss in the bot lane. Quite unfortunate there.
You know, you hate to see it.
Hate to see that. Definitely would have been a kill to pick up there if they landed.
And it would have been crucial as this Cloud Drake about to come up now in around 15 seconds. And Paw Patrol already sitting on one Cloud Drake. New Kappa Turk is sitting on the top side and looks like he's actually going to start up this Rift Herald here. It's a straight up trade for this Cloud Drake because Kaliki's got the push in pressure on the top side, so they can do that. The rough part though is going to be if Violet Sociocat can actually smell this one out. And with Kaliki's rotation, so, you know, you gotta have some question marks going on in Paw Patrol's minds at this point. Like, where's this Olaf at? We have wards on the bot side. What's going on here? Yep, Violet Sociocat's pathing over here. They've spotted it out. Mark199 actually here on the contest. They have the Amumu ult up. They have all the tools here. Rift Herald secured. The Unstoppable Ragnarok pop. They're getting out of there. Mark199 going in on Juice Me Mommy on the side. New Capaturk extremely low here. Surely going to be brought down. A finally kill going over to Violet Toasty Cat. Meanwhile on the side, Mark199 going in. Great suppression comes out from Kalegi. It's the grinder brings Violet Toasty Cat in and drags her to her death. Mark199 looking for the kill. But Kalegi gonna mow him down as StarCraft trades a kill onto Juice Me Mommy in the mid lane.
Yeah, they kind of split their focus there, that fight, which was okay, but then after Parkland99's all of his abilities were on cooldown, he was just kind of caught out of place and couldn't really do anything, so at that point he was just kind of running in the wrong direction away from his team, so worked out in KB's favor. They were able to pick up a couple kills back, and KB coming out on top there, picking up the Rift Herald and 2 kills.
There's a case to be made for some bad news bears here on the side of Koigma Bobways because StarCraft picked up another kill from that fight, but at the same time they got 2 kills onto Kalegi, which will be crucial in helping shut down StarCraft as a win condition, and New Capaturk was able to complete the Rift Herald before Paw Patrol was able to collapse, so that's also pretty crucial. Overall, I'd say worth.
Yeah, that was the one time where KB just out-macroed Paul. Barkland99 should have saw that when New Capaturk cleared out that pink ward top side, that he should have thought, oh, they're probably on Rift Herald here. Could have rotated up there to check it a bit earlier, but
yeah, it's one of those classic cases of extremely proactive calls, and it was 5 seconds away from being an extremely not so hot call for the side of Koigma Bobway there, but it wasn't, and so because of that, Koigma Bobway gets a decisive advantage.
Indeed, and the Olaf's picking up a CS advantage now, about 20 CS. Just the sheer clear speed's kinda...
He's 2 levels up as well. Yeah, he's put out so much pressure, and the clear speed's really having an impact here. He's already got that Rift Herald. Yeah, New Capaturk, despite being set back in the early game by some pretty clever pathing from Marklin, he's really getting back into it at this point.
Yeah, and KB should be looking to start up this dragon here. They honestly, they should have started immediately when they saw the Morgana missing in the blue buff up, because Barkland99 and Violet Social Cat were topside, and that was a free trade to be taken.
StarCraft dropping some trade onto Quiggy. Good disdain to get away from the crowd control. StarCraft going back in on the waves. Quiggy pops the purge. The shotgun needs explosions. Yep, here's Drag.
Yeah. Indeed, they had the pink ward down, so they're able to just pick up that dragon subtly.
And Koigma Bobway, they are, they're kind of riding the sinking ship, so to speak. Perhaps a couple of small question marks throughout the early game, but a pretty good macro call for that Rift Herald. Now a decisive, clean and effective macro call gets them this Cloud Drake as well, and they're only 800 gold down right now. A pretty good spot.
Yeah, they're still in a very good position to have a very strong mid game here. Just really depends on these macro calls mid game.
Yeah, and if there's one area where Paw Patrol fell apart last game, it was the mid game transition. So Koigma Bobway closing that gold lead is going to be rather crucial to ensuring that they can put out a good amount of pressure transitioning into this mid game, and it really opens up their options going forward.
Rift Herald being dropped up top side, and Violet Sociocat dropping a TP to respond to it.
The binding goes wide, hits the one minion that's standing there, but Bark199 is looking bottom side. And Juice Me Mommy, though, is going to be on the roam. Gurg7 dropping the dredge line button, and Amumu's there. Gets the Curse of the Sad Mommy coming out, but Juice Me Mommy's here. OP running away from those Zeraf ults. And the re-engage comes forward. Bear Jr. doing so much damage. Gurg7 gets the kill on Bark199 with the Ignite. Bear Jr. sound the shutdown onto OP, and now they are looking for the Cal. As Juice Me Mommy is going to be eating some beef for dinner tonight, boys.
Yeah, that was quite disastrous there for Paul. It was a good look, but the Amumu ult didn't end up hitting the prime target, Bear Jr. Only ended up hitting Gurg7, so then they had to dump all their damage into the tank, which just didn't work out well for them.
I feel like the last time I casted a PAW game, Beowulf also played Alistar one game, and I resorted to calling him Beefawolf. So, Beefawolf.
Beefawolf, yeah, he was a pretty beefy frontline there.
Yeah, perhaps a little too beefy.
A little too beefy.
big
Needs-
beefy
Yeah,
wolf.
I'd like to see it be a bit more raw, you know. But
A little bit raw, a little bit more rare. And
best way to enjoy.
so on one hand, New Turks up already like 40 CS plus. But oh man, Barcon 99. I was about to say it's at 69 CS. That's all the CS you need. He stopped farming there, but he took the red buff. He just ruined it.
Yeah,
Disappointing. Barcon 99 now definitively losing this jungle farm matchup after that oversight. You hate to see it.
He's keeping up his vision score pretty well this game. He's got 3 over New Turks, so that's good there. Paul's being a lot better about vision this game.
Yep, and Juice Me Mommy actually sitting in a pretty good spot in mid. He is a lot of CS down, but he has the Luden's Echo, so now Violet Cat really doesn't have the wave clear pressure on him at all, because both of them can just explode the, both of them can just explode the wave pretty quickly at this point, so.
Yeah. And picking up those kills on assist in bot lane really helped Juice Me Mommy close that CS gap a little bit. So he's feeling pretty comfortable right now with the Luden's large rod.
How large is it? Needlessly large. Right, the arcane being popped in the mid lane. Violet Cat, though, gonna survive that one. Doing some top lane posturing coming out from Zimbabwe right now. As both bot lanes from both teams have swapped to top side now, and Zimbabwe looking for that outer turret, looking to break this outer turret ring just like last game.
Yeah, they've been floating on this top side for about like a minute and a half right now. I'm just waiting for somebody to misstep. We'll see if somebody does decide to go for the fight, but it doesn't look like it. Paul kind of sniffing out that the Olaf's nearby.
I think it's a very logical choice to make, especially because there are almost no objectives on the map. So you swap the bot lane duo to the lane that still has the tower up for them to take, because you're not losing any Dragon or Herald pressure for it, and all of a sudden, that's pretty much a free pressure macro move from the side of Zimbabwe. But PAW Patrol doing a really good job responding to it. Their bot lane's now top side. Probably not an extremely good job, because their top lane tower is definitely looking worse for the wear right now. But, it was good enough to where they're not suffering a noticeable loss in pressure from this. And this next dragon going to spawn up here. It's going to be yet another Cloud Drake. I feel like I've seen a lot of Cloud Drakes so far this series.
Oh, yeah. Perfect Drakes for that Olaf Sivert comp. This Olaf's going to be going very, very fast in team fights. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, and the nice part being that with this Drake, Zimbabwe will be up a Cloud Drake, so having the Cloud Drake advantage on the comp means that, Olaf and Sivert really can start to run fast.
And it's been a bit of a standoff here, just both teams kind of struggling to force any fights. I mean, you can't really do anything mid lane against Morgana, that just endlessly waves clear. And then this top lane has been playing very tactical. And
Opie gonna get caught out by the dredge line here, gonna be forced to flash away. Bailiff just headbutts that Nautilus out of there. StarCraft looking for some trading in the bot lane. Kogi's actually looking a little worse for the wear at this point in the bottom lane, and there's one opportunity that PAW Patrol has to blow this game open right now. It's going to be StarCraft making some individual plays in that bottom lane.
Yeah, he's got a Strive Force, and he's going to be scaling up pretty hard into this mid lane game. He's just been farming really well, so just like what you like to see on a Jax.
He's got the Jarim's Fist, so that'll likely be going into the Spear. StarCraft waiting in the bush here, so he's actually going to find Kaliki on that one, some more trading damage going down. And that's one of the textbook plays you can easily make as a top laner, is when you're chilling alone in the side bush, whenever there's no wave there, just chill in a bush out of vision, so that way when the wave drops, they don't see you. And then it creates opportunities like that.
Yeah, there's been this kind of standard ADC or the bot lane's top for the past 5 minutes, just clearing waves until the end of time.
This is decidedly less mid-game action than game one. All things being considered, I think I gotta steer this conversation in other directions at this point. What is your favorite place to get a burger. Hold on, Barkman99 actually going to be caught out in the top side here, popping the curse of the sad mummy and flashing over. Thank God nothing else is happening because I gotta know what the heck your favorite place to get a burger is, Maya.
Definitely say Five Guys is probably my favorite burger place that's around me. Just always
Five
solid
Guys,
quality.
yeah. Five Guys would be the easiest answer of my life if they weren't so gosh darn expensive.
Yeah, they're definitely expensive, but just the amount of like customability that you can put on your burgers, it's a good time.
That's very true. And StarCrafting traded on in the bot lane, flashing out of range of the right area of the arcane though. Gonna be just fine. And this top lane turret, this top lane turret looking very worse for the wear here. And Beowulf has been found. The depth charge is gonna be popped here, and nothing gonna come of this engage as well.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Paul is just kind of treading water, and I think they're just kind of waiting for this late game, which I would say that their comp is a bit better late game with Jaxi and the Kaisa. Scales a bit better, in my opinion, than the Urgot and the Sivir. So.
And this middle game, this mid game being a classic case of just chipping away KB, whittling Paw Patrol for all they're worth to try and get some advantages. They've gotten a tower, and that's basically it. So already much more effective mid game transition for Paw Patrol than game one because the score's pretty even at this point. Their gold lead is not all of a sudden just. Caligma Bobbly's gold lead didn't just balloon to like 7,000 all of a sudden, and so Paw Patrol is having an issue in gold lead right now. Their jungle's down so much gold, and the Sivir is currently up a decent amount of gold on Opie as well. But having the primary amount of your gold advantage being on Olaf isn't really going to mean an incredible amount. So really, the only farm that's extremely meaningful right now is Bear Jr. on the Sivir.
Yeah, having those 2 crit items complete and the QS Sass, which is very pivotal for playing against a Morgana and a Mumu and such. So
teleport coming out mid lane from Violet Sociocats. I thought Caligma Bobbly was fancying an engage, but not gonna be the case.
Yeah, Juice Me Mommy's pushing out topside, does have the teleport available, but we'll see if they get an engage here.
Yeah, Wisely doing a very good. Wisely doing a very good job of keeping those waves under control, just going top, pushing in one wave, and I was saying that, but he is currently chilling topside again. If you're a Xerath, you want to utilize that teleport for wave control. Bear Jr. gonna get bound up by Violet Sociocat. Actually, Soul Shackles comes out, Flash being popped, the stun comes out from the Soul Shackles. Bear Jr. though, gonna survive that one. Being forced to blow both summoners and take the back though means Caligma Bobbly's going to have a little trouble securing this dragon.
Yeah,
and Paw Patrol, the engage is coming out. The teleport comes in. Barkman99's on to Caligma Bobbly doing the best they can to run from this. Knockup comes out, but Paw Patrol is already disengaged, and they are looking, hopefully, they are looking for this Mountain Drake, and Juice Me Mommy gets the trade onto the mid lane turret, and that is all 3 outer turrets. Blocked for the side of Caligma Bobbly. Part of the Arcane comes out, and a fight's breaking out. Barkman99's found 2 on the side with the Curse of that Mummy, and StarCraft is onto the back line. But the Grinder comes out, and StarCraft is mowed down. Caligma going ham. Bear Jr. getting the kill on Beowulf, and now Opie's forced to run away into KB's jungle, away from Juice Me Mommy. Good jukes coming out. Juice Me Mommy having some issues here. The Void Squirt not going to be enough to take down the Xerath, and Violet Sociocat actually going to secure the kill with the Tormented Soil. Overall, a 1 for 3 in favor of Caligma Bobbly in that exchange, and this is likely going to mean Mountain Drake for them as well.
Yeah, again, they split their focus really hard in that fight, and I don't think that's what you should do as a team that has Morgana on it. It just really hurt them in that last fight where they had their team not really knowing what targets to hit. So then Bear Jr. was kind of able to still stay alive in that fight.
And Violet Sociocat is getting run down by the Sivir in her passive. The Great Zanya's Soul Shackles coming out in order to stop that exchange from happening. Actually, as a stopwatch, not as Zanya's, but no biggie. And Bear Jr. also, another mind game thing there. Generally speaking, when players with, stuff like the Morgana Q, the crowd control abilities, go into bushes, that's prime time to use the crowd control ability in order to stop them, because you know you're in the bush, you can't see the crowd control ability. It's way tougher to react to it. And Bear Jr., he sees that situation, he reads it, he has the spell shield up, he knows she hasn't used the Q yet, so he just turns on the spell shield as soon as she walks into the bush. It blocks the binding, and it almost allows him to finish the kill.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard for Morgana to play against this Sivir that has a QSS and a spell shield. Just a lot of field spads all around. Time you do hit a binding, it's just like, oh, JK, doesn't really matter.
So you know, I always try and make sure I report my teammates for going AFK every time they get hit by a Morgana binding, but unfortunately you can only submit one report per teammate per game, so you know, that's kind of rough.
Yeah, true. The slowest skill shots in the game.
Boink. This is the slowest skill shot in the game, and meanwhile people are just getting whacked by this binding time and time again. Like, that's the caster's, that's like a mini caster's curse at its finest. Slowest skill shot in the game, bro. Like it's like Ash and Pikachu in the anime. Just dodge it, Pikachu! And the engage is coming out by one touch jack, and it got caught and locked down. Bear Jr. getting that kill pretty quickly. Beowulf flashing over the wall, running away. Gerg7 follows with the flash dredge line, and that's a double kill to Bear Jr. And now Caligula Bobway gonna turn their heads and run with this Baron buff.
Yeah, that was just a big misstep there by PAW. They didn't have their team there, and you know, if you misstep against an Olaf, Sivir, and Nautilus, you're just not going to get away. You can't be misstepping at this point of the game against that comp. They're going to run you down and they're going to kill you. And they get a Baron because of it as well. Quite unfortunate, because I felt they were very much still in this game with only about 4k down until that play.
Yep, so we're seeing, you know, the ticky-tack individual mistakes, the minute mistakes from game one come back to bite them. People just face-checking places where they shouldn't be, and in this situation, you know, you can make judgment calls about Caligula Bobway's macro when the game turns into a clown fiesta all you want, but the fact of the matter is 9 times out of 10, Caligula Bobway is going to have their team arranged in the same way that they want it. It's going to be arranged in an effective way that allows them to pressure the map. So, you know, you start making individual mistakes like that, you start walking in jungle corridors without the assistance of your team or your front line, and Caligula Bobway gets clean kills, all of a sudden you realize this is why KB's the #1 team. They're always in a position to translate stuff that's donated to them into tangible map advantages. Like, it's a dragon, it's a baron, it's a tower, pretty much anytime anyone makes an individual mistake against KB.
Yeah, we see the Magi's being picked up by Juice Me Mommy here. Always a bold purchase there, only got 2 stacks on it. Pretty sad Magi's.
And Bear Jr. currently 5-1 on the Sivir right now, and the engage comes out. Gerg7's been caught out by tons of members of PAW Patrol. Kill's gonna go over to StarCraft on that one.
That's a pretty good pickup there for them. They only had to blow a Mumu ult for the support, and they got that Bear Jr. Sivir ult out as well. But we have Kaligi just slapping on this tower top lane full on turret mode. So nobody to respond to it.
And that's the power of Caligula Bobway getting their pressure set up correctly. So even though, you know, the cross-map plays are happening, the face checks are happening, you know, Caligula Bobway not really overextending themselves like that until each member of their team is in position. So they got the 1-1-3 coming out, and PAW Patrol has the man advantage in the bot lane, but, you know, Caligi's already in position on top lane, and Juice Me Mommy's in position on mid lane, so when they commit for that dive, they already lose the tower topside.
Yeah, and they lost one mid lane as well. They were just like, alright, it's fine that our support's gonna die. We're gonna gain 2 towers for that, which is just more gold, so.
Yep, and can you predict that? And can you straight up predict that? Well, considering the ward pressure that Caligula Bobway has over PAW Patrol, not really. You want to, the easiest way to stuff 1-3-1 is to gain ward control of your own jungle and try and contest for that river, and so that way you can start looking for picks in that situation before you can get your 2 1s into position. You can start looking to picks on the 3 as 4 or 5, and all of a sudden the 1-3-1 comp starts to fall apart into that.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 teleports on your team, so that right when you finish up the fight you can respond to the lane. Which Ali did have the teleport up in order to respond, but just kind of used it a bit late, so then didn't really get to save any towers.
Yep,
Or
and
Violet Cats, sorry.
yeah, I believe that was the mountain drake there, going to be... What was an ocean? Yeah, I think it was an ocean. Actually, I forget. Doesn't matter which drake they had, but that's going to be the 4th dragon of the game picked up for Caligma Bobway here. And unfortunately, we're not going to be having any 6 Elder Drake Spirit Bombs. Oh my god! Godly protects coming in. The Alpha Movement player, Barco99, CCing up Juice Me Mommy in the mid, but now Caligma Bobway fans is engaged in the top side. Violet Cat though immediately answering with the counter engage. And Paw Patrol has found the fight. They are looking for Opie coming in with the killer instinct. Maybe biting off a little more than he can chew. Bear Jr. gonna get the kill, and this is one Bed Sivir. Now the front line of Paw Patrol is gonna get mowed down by this Sivir over here. Violet Sociocat is back and looking for the damage, but unfortunately just does not have it. Meanwhile, in the top lane, StarCraft, Pop the Grandmasters by looking for the trade on the Kaligi, and Bear Jr. just running down Paw Patrol in the bottom lane, and that's gonna be the inhibitor just donated over.
Yeah, it was such a good look there for Paul. They got the pick mids, and then they had the numbers advantage, and they started running down bot lane. They had the great Morgana ult engage, but then they just weren't able to get to Bear Jr. in that fight. So then he was just able to auto free until the end of time.
Yeah, they had a great setup, but unfortunately what probably, just boned them that fight was Opie taking the killer instinct directly into pretty much their entire team. Underestimated, which normally is fine, but in this situation, underestimating just how fed Bear Jr. was, and Bear Jr. quick to respond on his combo, and Opie just gets blown up.
Yeah. Quite unfortunate. That was pretty huge there. KB got 2 inhibitors, and with Baron coming up soon, it's going to be very hard for Paul to be able to do anything about that. So.
Yeah, but those are both the side lane inhibitors, which are kind of the lanes you want to have dropping before this Baron spawns, especially that bottom side, because now this is going to force StarCraft to answer that bottom lane eventually. And I would almost venture that putting Kaliki bot side with teleport at this point would be a very viably strategic use of their time. And these waves are being answered a little bit incorrectly right now. Opie forced to go back to the space to answer this bottom side while StarCraft backs, but luckily for them, this Baron buff hasn't spawned yet, so I don't think that's going to be a huge issue.
Yeah, I think PAW was, they wanted to get the vision around Baron early, but it really doesn't matter because KB's ahead, so they can't really contest the vision control once KB shows up. So I'd have liked them to just shove out those waves as hard as they possibly can, so then they could contest the Baron when it spawns. Because now they're just in no position to try and contest it.
Yeah, and that small amount of wave juggling means that Caligma Bobway has an effective jump on the Baron, but Barkman99 has found the flank on the side. StarCraft teleporting in. Kaliki is going to get trapped up, flashing out, and the On the Hunt is popped. Caligma Bobway doing their best they can to disengage this, but the supers are back at the base, hammering in. The engage comes out. Beowulf going to get blown up immediately. New Kappa Turket's in the back line, but he's going to get mowed down by tons of members of Paw Patrol. Rather, the Arcane's being popped. Tons of damage being dealt to all the members of Paw Patrol. Kirk 7 with the max range flash hook coming in there. Junior is now legendary on this Sivir. And Caligma Bobway just looking to run down all the remaining members of Paw Patrol here. Teleport comes out from Juice Me. Mommy Bear Jr. with the reaction spell shield, and he gets the double kill. Clean up onto the mid bot lane duo of Paw Patrol, and that is likely going to be game 2 going over to Caligma Bobway here. They're on the Nexus turrets. They're into the base, and StarCraft is going in here, but CC Chain comes out. That is one dead Jax. And this Nexus finally going to go down here as Caligma Bobway closes out the series with a clean 2-0.
Yeah. Congratulations to KB on that 2-0. Definitely turned around that game 2 pretty well. Struggled a bit early, but from 15 minutes onward, they were just out macroing at every single point.
Yeah, so, I think we can safely say that this is a classic case of better team wins, but, you look at some of the stuff Paw Patrol is doing, and I'm like, this is actually a pretty competitive series. On one hand, I want to look at, the 1 seed versus the 8 seed and expect an all-out stomp, and it was a pretty reasonably decisive 2-0, but Paw Patrol had a lot of good moments throughout the series.
Yeah, they were able to hang in there for both games until what was it, the first game? At least 35 minutes as well. So both games they were able to hang in there and not take big missteps, and And in game 2, they out macroed KB pretty decisively for the first 15 minutes, especially Barkland 99, going into the enemy jungle and just picking up more farm than the Olaf. But just a few mid game shot calling mistakes with mispositioning cost them the series, sadly.
Yep, and transitioning into the MVP votes, who on the side of Caligma Bobway are you perhaps looking at for this MVP vote?
I mean, I don't think you can make any other argument besides Kaligi.
Kaligi, yeah, of course.
I mean, pretty dominant performance of 3-1-8, you know. I mean, Bear Jr., yeah, 11-1-4, you know, being a pretty hard carry both games, but, you know, Kaligi was just there, you know.
Yeah, he just had the it factor, you know. It's just outstanding to see. It really warms my heart to see such, you know, exciting top lane talent here. Mm-hmm. But you know, all memes aside here, this is actually a very rough MVP vote to call for me, because I feel like there are a lot of players who had clear like impact both game, like in one game, but then not necessarily as much impact in the next game. And like for me, especially like New Kappa Turk was like clear in a way a very dominant force in game 1, but a bit of a mixed bag in game 2, as he had some good moments like with the Rift Herald solo. That was a very creative play to force, and some of those invades are maybe a little suspicious, but
yeah,
I like the pressure.
I think it's got to be somebody from the bot lane. Bear Jr. and Gerg7 both games are pretty dominant in their positions.
Yeah, I'd say so too.
Extremely well. Bear Jr. always being that mid game, late game carry that was there by just farming up and playing safe enough in the early game in order to scale.
Yeah, and Bear Jr. especially having a really outstanding game 2 on the Sever pick, pumping out tons of damage. And we don't talk about the turret dive kill. We didn't talk about that one.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, that was the only solid misstep I think from Bear Jr. this series was that turret dive. That was quite interesting.
Yeah, we look at when we look at game 1, I forget how Bear did game 1. I think for me the MVP vote actually has to go to Gerg7, because I think both games, like his ward pressure was so dominant and his play was consistently like, you know, above average both games. And I don't feel like I saw any individual mistakes from him going forth through most of the series at all. And in general, he was almost always putting out more pressure than
the only other
Beowulf was.
The only one that could contest that MVP would be Bear Jr., but ADCs can't win MVP, so it's, I think Gerg7 just has to take it here, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's very true. And so, yeah, apparently chat agrees, because Gerg7's currently up 7 votes to 3 1s. Well, 3 1s and a 2. You could make a strong case for Kaligi.
Always make a strong case for Kaligi.
Very true. But, yeah, so, there's like Legends MK saying in chat, valiant effort to Paw Patrol, and that was definitely a very fun series to watch and cast. And 26 players in chat. Just with how one-sided this MVP vote is slants out to be right now, it's like 1150 CST, so like 1250 EDT. I think I'm going to go ahead and call the MVP vote for the series here and give the MVP over to Gerg7. So on that note, could we please have Gerg7 and everyone move over to play of the game 1? Oh where has my Gerg7 gone? Oh where could he? Somewhere over the Gergbo, here now.
What up?
Okay, congratulations on the 2-0 over Paw Patrol. Now welcome to play the game, chat.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. What's yours?
So, my first question, you're looking like one naughty boy in the series tonight, dude. How do you feel about this Nautilus pick? And how do you think that like turned the tides of the game?
The real MVP of the series probably goes to Riot for buffing Nautilus. So thank you, Riot, for deciding to do that. Nah, he's pretty busted, and like we knew on Red side too. that if they like on blue, we figure if we first picked Morgana that they would not pick Nautilus, being like, oh, it's a counter. But then when we were on red, we knew that it would most likely be Ali taking Morgana mid, so we were like, well, let's just go Nautilus anyway. And Nautilus is just so impressive, man. He's crazy.
Yeah, Nautilus is a crazy champion. And on the flip side, another meme-worthy thing. I know you are the premier quote-unquote Yumi player in this Discord right now, so I gotta ask, were you avoiding the Yumi pick simply because you're playing against a dog team and Yumi's a cat?
Let's just say we're saving it for some future games. Let's say we got something up our sleeves. We're kind of hoping UTD wins, so that way we can beat Maye with the first ever Yumi pick. But yeah, we got it coming. We got it coming. Yumi into the champs that Garrett plays is a little hard.
All right, Yumi and Nivea getting banned both games.
Yumi and Nivea, let's go, dude. I'm all about that.
Perfect. And so the next question also has to be, going into the series, I feel like a decent amount of people in the PMA LCS might have expected a stomp, and some people might have expected a pretty close series. But overall, I don't think there are many people that had Paw Patrol winning the series at all. But going forward, how do you think this series played to you guys' expectations of what you thought was going to happen going in, and how does the way you guys performed tonight influence how you're looking at the rest of the playoffs?
I actually think they played really well. I thought the series was really good. I think the one thing that our team just excels at is we're really good at macro, and just we're constantly on top of what the next objective is, what we're supposed to be doing. Like even in game 2, when we were down like 4 or 5 kills or in the early game, like we were still making all the right macro moves. Like we had Nick and myself top for like a good 3.5 minutes, and we were just denying OP farm, and we got Nick a huge lead. And so like our team just excels at being able to play macro well, and then even if our early game isn't good, we just kind of hit the right place at the right time.
Yeah. So what about that dive bot lane early game 2? That
was just a miscommunication between me and Nick. Nick, so we got the first kill, and then we were gonna keep going, but Nick was tanking tower, and Nick thought I was gonna flash onto the guy, but Nick was tanking tower, so like if I had flashed, he still would have been tanking tower, and it was just a miscommunication. It was a kind of a spicy play. How about the play where I flashed and I missed the hook on Kaisa, and then Elliot flashed on a Mumu and missed the Q on me?
Oh,
that was pretty clean.
That was PMA LCS prime right there.
Yeah, we saw the missed Q. We saw the missed Q flash from Elliot, but we didn't get to see yours because directed camera gets you like that sometimes. But
yeah,
man, I had a question and it just vanished. Oh, I never mind. It was a statement. So I think, looking at Caligma Bobby's macro, I think, especially based upon this series, you guys are looking like you have very clean macro at this point, especially the game 1. So you look at some of the issues that Caligma Bobby's had, and perhaps some of the series where they've got 1-1, and you could make, a case that perhaps sometimes KV's macro maybe falls off the wheels a bit when people start getting antsy and perhaps biting off a little bit more than they can chew. But what I especially liked from the series from you guys was look at game 1, and the macro is completely that was stellar macro, and then you go into game 2 and you started to get a little bit of that creeping in, with people sometimes going a little too far and biting off a little bit more than they can chew, but the macro overall never suffered. You guys never macro tilted in game 2 at all.
Yeah, I think just kind of as a whole, we're just usually on the same page, and we're constantly talking things through. And even if we give up those kills early game, I think a lot of it comes down to our pick ban. If we can get a pick ban that we're on comfort and we kind of have a team fighting objective, we tend to be able to just kind of hold through. The games we've lost this season are usually because our pick ban is pretty shitty. So if we pick ban well as a team and then just don't in early game, we usually can hold all the way.
Yeah, question from chat. From Caligatron, why is your top laner actually toxic, and why does he get solo killed so often?
You're gonna have to ask him on that one. He actually emoted in lane game 1.
Oh my gosh, that's the perma ban from the league, isn't it?
Yeah, so he's gonna be benched next week as per the rules.
Yeah.
So that to answer that question.
Because the entirety of SBT should have been benched week 1 against TBR. Then actually, no, that was week 2. Shout out to that. That was a fun time.
Yeah, but as for why he gets solo killed in lane all the time, that's just because he's boosted.
Oof, never right.
All of his wins in ranked are Nick logging on his account and playing top lane champs. You heard it here first, folks. Release the news. Kaligi is boosted by Nick.
Oh, where were you guys hiding game 2 enter invade? They walked to the bot side. So you guys were just on opposite sides.
Oh yeah, that was
all right. That's false.
Whoa! Get this man out of our post game.
Actually, that invade, we knew that we wanted to invade topside level 1 just because it's a Mumu, and if we can take his blue buff, we'd be in a really good place. And then we were like, oh, once he goes for his red, he'll come to our blue, and then we'll kill him at our blue. And then we're like, wait a second, did he go red to red? Was he at our red? And we couldn't figure it out.
He did really good macro there early game.
Yeah, that was actually next level. That definitely caught us off guard.
And then getting the gank top right after too.
Yeah, that was really
very
nice.
well.
Yeah, I think PAW Patrol had wards on both the blue buffs, I believe. Actually, so they saw Tyler back, and then they saw him go to red to confirm they saw him go to blue as well, so that confirms.
Yeah, that was really smart.
And I think hard read the path to blue instead of going to instead of him going to his red and taking that side, he hard read New Kappa going over to his own blue in case Barklin wanted the path there, and so he just walks straight topside, and then the ward PAW Patrol had there confirms what Barklin read. So I think that was actually next level.
Yeah, that was smart. I think if they had been able to play through topside more, because I think especially after they got that early kill, I'm pretty sure Urgot Jax is slightly Jax favored.
Yes, not good for Urgot.
If they had gotten him rolling, but the thing about Urgot is if he doesn't get behind to the Jax, he can just sustain and then just be tanky enough in team fights. And that's kind of what happened. But if they had gotten more kills top and tried to really play around that, and again, Urgot's really hard to gank though. He's a tough guy.
Yep. All right. So any more questions from chat or from my Codecaster?
I got nothing.
All right, perfect. And on that note, I think it's going to be time to wrap up this stream. So once again, congratulations to Caligma Bobway on the 2-0 win over PAW Patrol. This will take them to the semifinals where they await the winner of Labby Dabby Doo versus Uno Truco Demonios. And thank you to everyone else for coming out tonight and spectating. Means a whole lot, and you can follow/support the PMALCS on www.twitch.tv/PMALCS. We do accept donations. Yeah, okay, there's a donation link there. Perfect. I'm not going to look like an idiot on a live stream, but anyway, thank you everyone for coming out, and we will see you guys next time tomorrow for LDD versus UTD.
Everyone go to PMALCS live next week. Woo!
Oh yeah.
Woo! Oh yeah.
La la.